Okay. I don't. Something weird just happened. Okay. Wait. Oh, and okay. I just hit the 200-hour mark for this game. That's messed up, dude. I actually can't believe it. Yeah, I can't do the new event. Yeah, I need to. This is locked. I love the hoodies. I love them so much. I love how Merceau is. He could pull off any outfit, probably. He's just like stanced up. He's got his hands in his pockets. He looks so good. He's pulling it off. Right, there's new stuff and I looked at it and it's like I looked this week and there was nothing really. Sad. Okay, ads start soon. I guess we could go back through and do some more of the mini-sodes. I can't believe his name is Hubert, dude. I can't believe it. It's so messed up. I hear they could do whether we're riding the bus through a forest or navigating the bus boat over a vast lake. Their daily routine changes very little.
감사합니다.
Thank you. The usual hubbub followed by the usual leisurely idleness. I guess I'm not the only one starting to enjoy these normal routine days. It wasn't our choice, though. By now, I thought we'd be sailing vigorously across the waters toward the Lobotomy Corp branch, located somewhere within U-Corp. But here we are, unable to leave the coastal side of the Great Lake, dawdling and twiddling our thumbs. Well, it's not like there's been an accident. While Faust didn't elaborate, she explained, though we had to wait for now. If I were to hazard a guess, we were waiting here to complete some kind of entry procedure like we did at K-Corp. Either that, or we're waiting for someone, probably the before team, to get in touch with us. Which brings us here, surrounded by nothing but endless water. The sinners chattered about inane subjects before complaining about this immense boredom. But deep down, we were all exhausted from the unending onslaught of physically and emotionally draining happenings. Deep down, we all knew these leisurely days would not last. So we each elected to enjoy this brief maritime respite in our own ways. Oh, is he saying getting fit?
자네 정말 괜찮은 것이오?
If thou needest my assistance. Oh, right, he got seasick. As I repeatedly make myself clear, I am quite alright. Thy countenance returning the contents within thy stomach to the lake with such vigor, saith otherwise. Except for Yi Sang, who had surprisingly low tolerance for seasickness. This voyage was proving to be rather uneventful. Yi Sang, the day's over, you could go back to your room now. Oh, shall I finally be freed from this suffering? Seriously, I told you that you could rest in your room if you wanted. Our fellows must also have their share of suffering. I cannot in good faith seek comfort only for myself. You're the one with the biggest share of suffering right now. Well, I wish that he'd be more reasonable with himself. I could see where he was coming from. Thought better of it than to try and convince him otherwise. Instead, chose to help Yi Sang to his room. I thank you, Dante. Then, until later. I waved at him and watched. Oh, generic door opening sound effect? Stumbled into his room and closed the door behind him. Then I shall seek myself respite as well, Manager Esquire. Esquire is just for lawyers, right? Oh, it's just like polite. It's just generic polite title. Don Quixote walked into the same door that Yi Sang had walked into. Could get a blurry glimpse into her room over her shoulder. I couldn't get a good look at it, but it was certainly not the same room Yi Sang had walked into. I see these doors every day, but I still don't get it. I should probably be used to this by now, but it's still pretty fascinating how the rooms change based on who opened the doors. I turned, leaving their shut door behind, ready to return to my room. There's a door immediately to the right of that demarcation of the corridor we're not allowed to cross. Within that door is a space somewhat different from the sinner's rooms. In there were the wooden door to my room and the metal door leading to the mirror dungeons. The doors leading to the Luxcavation dungeon and the recently opened door to the Refraction Railway also come into view. No new doors yet. For no reason in particular, I creak those doors open and take a quick peek inside to see if anything changed. Well, I've never actually managed to catch any changes myself, but who knows? Maybe I'll notice something worth keeping to myself. Oh, Dante, which I should probably report to Faust. Something must have caught wind of my rather mischievous thought. An ear-splitting siren blares all the way here from the other end of the bus. Blimey, what the hell is... Oh boy, this again? M-E... Hold on. My ears! My ears! I spun around to face the other side of the corridor. The sinners, alarmed by the noise, were one by one peeking out of their rooms. They were used to the siren by now, but that didn't change the unpleasant fact that they're sweet. Private hours were disturbed. Well met, Dante. Let us observe this disturbance together. Okay. I accompanied Faust to the helm. He fiddled with a few buttons and shut off the alarm. Incomprehensible, the complicated-looking letters began to fill the round screen. Is that a new room? Even Faust needs a moment to decipher. Right. Siren always comes without warning. And with it appears the mirror dungeons, the excavation dungeons, and the refraction railways. I don't know if it's relevant, but I didn't see anything that would indicate activity when I checked the railway door earlier. It is unlikely that anything new would appear from that entrance. I find it difficult to believe that the line would arrive so soon when the door leading to line 2 has yet to go out. I guess you're right. First railway really took me by surprise when it appeared. A new door had appeared before us, its edges shimmering with a blue glow, and when we entered it, a mysterious vehicle was just sitting there, waiting for us. Its appearance somewhat resembled that of Mephistopheles, but it was also patently clear I'd never seen anything like it before. An odd feeling. I see that your first encounter with the train has left a strong impression, Dante. Well, I recall that you had a rather violent reaction when I entered the train to observe its interiors. Come on, I wasn't the only one that freaked out. Everyone did. What if that thing left the station before the rest of us got on? It was what I wanted to say if Faust hadn't already turned around from the screen, to which our eyes had been metaphorically glued for a while, and walked away. This wasn't it then? No. This particular volatility is not something we can utilize. Right. I thought it was an awkward time for a new door to appear. Too soon. The dungeons and the railways appeared at awkward times as well, Dante. I recommend that you refrain from setting into a premature conclusion. A new variable may present itself at any moment. Moreover, if this volatility has triggered an alarm in Mephistopheles' engine, then it naturally follows that a new door has appeared in an indeterminate location down the corridor. This may reveal a space from which one could never return. It is best that we keep track of these incidents. Even Heathcliff won't do anything like that again. Probably. As per my last advice to you, a premature conclusion is... Regardless, no serious issues have been detected at this moment. It would be most apt that we enjoy our remaining rest period. Now, if you'll excuse me, rest well, Dante. That was, as her parting words, Faust disappeared into her... Is it Tuesday? It is Tuesday. Okay, I got that right. Left alone again on this bus boat. Looked at the numerous letters displayed on the screen. Numbers, unintelligible letters, drawings and symbols depicting something. I had to shake my clock head after staring at that dizzying sight for a while. I wonder if this is how Yi Sang felt earlier. I'm starting to feel nauseous. I was barely... What would happen if Dante threw up? I was barely able to hold back the vertigo from setting in. Time to saunter back to my room. Let's turn in early tonight. Another day, another prolonged dreary period of waiting, and some more waiting for something to happen. Of course, our busboat was still floating on the coastal Great Lake. Voices of discontent among the sinners started small, but they've been growing increasingly incessant as of late. Holy Jesus, Batman! All of a sudden, an ear-splitting siren echoes throughout the cabins. It's that alarm again, warning us of the volatility in Mephistopheles, but it was much louder, much more painful than the one we've heard before. And this time, it wasn't the only thing that assaulted our senses. Huh? We've never had flashing lights like this before, right? What is it this time? How did you meet this bloody rickety bus? Oh, this must be a signal that the long-awaited adventure is finally nigh. Is this what we've been waiting for this whole time? No. Julius frowned as though he sensed that something was off. He turned to Faust. It was one of those rare occasions when I could sense the slightest hint of confusion from him. Wee-woo. Mephi's blaring and crying. Mephi's sick? What is this, Miss Faust? I wasn't informed about a siren like this before. First, a correction of falsehoods in order. Mephistopheles is not bloody rickety, and eating is not a part of its behaviors. It does make infrequent use of Kefalin supply gear installed in the engines for fuel, but that is of no negative consequence. Even if it was, whatever issues may arise can handily be repaired after proper total disassembly. That was a figure of speech! So what's this now? Sounds like the bus is about to explode! To label Mephistopheles as some bloody rickety bus completely disregards the amount of pain and effort Faust dedicated to designing. Heathcliff, if you don't take it back, I don't think she's ever gonna stop. Seriously? Yeah, Heath, take it back. The bus might actually blow up before she explains anything. I take back what I said earlier. I cannot comprehend what you are attempting to take back. Your rather abstract reference to this unknown concept that you supposedly mentioned earlier is hardly clarifying. Anyway, allow me to list the specifications of screws used in Mephistopheles' construction that make this creation so impressive. The fucking screws! Oh my god, Faust is about to go off on like a 7-hour video essay. Fine, I take back what I said about the bus. It's not bloody rickety and it doesn't eat. I'm sorry. Gavin briefly echoes with his cries, then a brief silence. I think I saw Faust flash the briefest grin of satisfaction. Good. Is the clown show over? This juvenile, tedious exchange is testing my patience. Oh, right, because the one who asked the question was Virgilius. Oh my god, Virgilius actually getting mad at Faust? This is new. Yeah, it's a bit different from the usual alarms. Don't think this one's for a new door.
간단합니다. 그 밤이 찾아온 거죠.
It is quite simple. The night is here. What do you mean? That's a lot of letters. I always forget what sync stands for. I feel like if I knew that. Hold on. Wait. 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 I'm fucking. What the fuck? Huh. Yeah. I'm thinking about it. I tried to Google it. Nope. Don't remember. Oh, thank Jesus. Ah! Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah. Or JFC for those in the know. Junior fucking cheeseburger.
발프르기스의 밤이 찾아온 것 같습니다.
Walpurgis night is here, it seems.
지금은 밤이 아니다만 적어도 이 연안에서는
The night is not here. That is very apparent, at least in this coastal area.
당장 눈에
The
보이는
name does not refer to the time of day in which the sun.
밤에 대한
I
이야기가
love how
아닙니다.
she's like. She has to pause for a second. The name does not refer to the time of day in which the sun moves beyond our line of sight.
그렇다면
Then it
이것은
appears to me
현상에
that by
지어진
that
일이라는
designation
말을
you are referring to a certain phenomenon? You saying seem to be doing a little better now that the waves had died down somewhat. waves in lowercase, not the waves in uppercase. Wait, hold on. I need to Google. Is there a Olympus Company desert bus mod? Desert Bus or Roblox did it, I guess.
네.
I am indeed. I am certain that all of you are most familiar with the fact that extracting identities and ego from mirror worlds is one of the many functions of Mephistopheles' engine. But its reach is rather limited. Even as it's expanded over our journey, we have yet to reach mirror worlds that are too far from our own.
그것도 황금가지와 관련이 있나?
Is this the Golden Bow's doing? I noticed that it was fishing up more and more new things the longer our journey went on.
것으로 보였는데.
아주 틀린다분이
Broadly speaking, yes. You could say that. Dante and our collective experiences gradually expand our range of extractions. Normally, extractions require a certain resource, but there were times when the identity cards appeared out of nowhere. Do you recall them, Dante? Yeah, some of them just randomly popped out of the engine. Wait, slow down. The hell's an identity card?
아,
Oh, you still don't know? I'm jealous of you, Heathcliff. You have a talent for ignoring anything you don't care about. You looking to get your head smashed in or what? Right. Knock it off, you guys. Guide Bud's giving us the evil eye. The evil eye? I don't have eyes.
아무튼
They're, you know, the things Management Bud pulls out of the engine from time to time. Those little rectangular objects with our alternate world. Wait, was it mirror? Oh, and so that's what's on the screen. Was it mirror worlds? Anyway, it's those things with depictions of our other selves on them.
맞아요.
Yes, the things that look like mahjong tiles.
나는 웨이퍼 과자 같다고 생각했는데.
I'm learning so much lore about the game UI. My god, I thought they looked a little bit like wafers.
인격이 담겨 있는 물건이
I believe their denomination comes from their appearance as cards that contain identities.
언젠가 그걸 인격
Thus, it naturally follows that they are named identity cards.
그러니까 우리가 그
So we're using those rectangular toys to transform into our alternate selves? Like fucking Bakugan.
난 그런 거 쓴 적 없는데.
I never used them before. That's because I'm the one using them.
관리자님의
The device issued to Dante are indentations through which identity cards and ego can be inserted. They are reflected when we participate in battle.
자꾸 싸우기 전에
Oh, so that's what they were fidgeting with before every fight. I could tell from his flabbergasted expression that none of it had ever occurred to Heathcliff. On the other hand, Don Quixote wore a somewhat forlorn expression. What's wrong, Don Quixote? Well, this is the most serious she's ever felt in the voice acting.
이런 상황에서 이스마엘 군이었다면 아직도 그걸 몰랐냐? 라느니
Aw,
한심하다. 라느니 하고 있을 텐데.
you're so nice. Is this not about time when Ishmael would intrude upon this conversation? Oh, right, she was mad at us. And denounced Heathcliff with biting words such as "you still didn't know," and that's just like you. This emptiness weighs heavily upon mine heart.
아, 그렇네.
Oh, you're right. Something was missing from this whole conversation. I knew it. You right bastards. Enough. We're not getting the information we need. Miss Faust, please explain the present situation. What are these green lights? Understood. If we take into account the case of identity cards Dante received without spending any lunacy, then we can draw a conclusion that the Mephistopheles extraction has an element of unpredictability tied to its uncertainty. What the fuck? I appreciate it, but why the fuck did they feel the need to explain the game mechanic? Why is there a lore? Fucking Doyle is useless. We only use Watsonian explanations. Yet this item is of your design. To set it as an element of unpredictability would indicate that.
맞습니다.
Correct.
이 엔진은 엔케팔린을 연료로 나아가지만
Enkephalin fuels the engine, yes. However, extracted and reconstruction utilize chaos. Well, in easier terms, you could say that it uses the concept of possibilities itself as fuel.
어딘가에 있을
Our
여러
extraction
거울
range
세계의
grows when we
조이를
are able to clearly observe specific possibilities in the infinitely branching mirror worlds. During this period, however, the borders between the mirror realities are entirely shattered. Using the present as our anchoring point, it could be said that our current extraction range is approximately 3 years to the past or the future. During Walpurgis Night, however, that range grows to be about 10 years or even more. In that case, that means to say that she got feral. Hold on, can we replay that voice line?
그렇다면 과거 엄청난 이름을
There was a slurp. What the fuck did they give to Don Quixote's BA? Hold on, where's the fucking squirrel? No.
이론상으로는요.
Theoretically speaking, yes, but each Walpurgis Night has its own peculiarities.
모든 가능성을 무수하게 추출할 수는 없을
It will
겁니다.
not let us reach into all potential possibilities.
그렇다면 과거 최강 전설의 해결사 붉은 안개도
That is extremely unlikely, but I will not completely dismiss the possibility.
범인은
The extended range, I suppose, could be defined by worlds affected by entities that were indispensable to the formation of this current state of the world. An example of that would be the Lobotomy Corporation headquarters prior to the White Knights and Dark Days incident. What the fuck are they? I'm assuming this is lore. It's lore from the fucking last 2 games.
어떤 의미에서는
In some ways, your words sometimes find a roundabout way to the truth, Don Quixote. I didn't know who this red mist was, nor did I know what the White Nights and Dark Days was. But I could hazard a guess they must have been pretty significant, considering that Virgilius's trace grew visibly tense as soon as they were mentioned. The sinners were unsettled too.
정리하자면 이번 알림은 어떠한 긴급적인
We can
상황이
conclude that the siren is no cause for any immediate concern then.
그렇습니다.
No, it isn't. Consider it a festival that arrives once in a while. For now.
축제,
Festival. Festive times. Charon is festive too. I don't know if I got all that, but isn't this what we've been waiting for, is it?
맞아.
No, oh, this isn't what we've been waiting. Sinners sighed and groaned with disappointment as the newfound anticipation fizzled. Well, something did happen, but it wasn't something that would get us moving. You can see what a disappointment this might be to them.
그럼
So, how do we stop that green light from flashing?
엔진에서 추출을
It will turn
진행하기만
itself
하면
off when Dante extracts something from the engine. Do not worry.
자,
Right, back to business, Saul. Dante extracts something and turn that alarm off.
달리자.
말 새 것이 나와도
Wad.
뒷문 탐방이나 하고 다니겠지.
What a disgrace. We'll just be running more dungeons through the back door with whatever new things they... What a disappointment.
그래도
Still, this leisureliness is a very rare opportunity, isn't it?
기다리는 자에게
Blessed be the patient ones, or so it said. Every sinner says their piece before returning to their seats. Some of them walk out of the cabin to gaze at the lake. It's something they must be growing a tad tired of doing at this point. Maybe they're just going up for a long sigh. An Otis walked up to me.
신경 쓰이지 않으십니까?
Are you not worried, executive manager?
저
Huh?
가짜 과학자가
But what that mad
아직
scientist said,
무슨
for
일을
now,
뭔가
there has to be more to
다른
that
거죠.
statement. Should I investigate this matter further? Otis was right. Well, Faust did tell us to consider this nothing more than a festival that arrives once in a while. She definitely knew more than she was letting on. But if Faust speaks of something in her characteristically cryptic manner, it means she'll never tell us until she wants to. Well, it does bother me a little, but right now we don't have a lot of options. Let's just put a pin in it for now. Otis nodded affirmatively. Hi, Clever. And returned to her seat. Well, let's get extracting, like Faust said. Yeah, I can't do the event. I like the sweatshirts, and I hope they release them as physical merch. But that's all I have to say. Let's see this. How do I... There. Just read the skill names. Oh, what? Though it must be prefaced that Ego Gears are standardized equipment, when juxtaposed with Ego Gear from L-Corp, depending on the degree of attunement to the abnormality. What the fuck? Wait, is this a he has a minus? Okay, the idiosyncrasies of the source may be utilized with greater flexibility. This is reflected by their appearance more closely resembling the source abnormality that Ego, the former L-Corp, do. That's cool. I don't think I'll get it because I can't do the event, but you know. How many levels? 15. So we'll do a couple levels. Oh, right. Right. Alright, how did this happen? First, we boarded the warp train to get to our next destination, P-Corp. Got into our fancy... Right, why were they... Why were they, like... At the end of the last thing, Virgilius was like, we're gonna take a warp train. And then everyone was like, "Ugh!" And they never explained why. Because I'm pretty sure people don't know what's up with the warp trains. Right? Because if they did, no one would fucking use them. We were supposed to arrive at P-Corp after a quick blink of an eye, but... Dante, please respond. There's... The first thing I saw when my vision returned was the perplexed look on Faust, who had entered hibernation at the same time I did. Then I realized that we woke up mid-transit on the warp train, which could only mean that we're now stranded in some lost, unknown dimension. Dante, I understand your considerable degree of disorientation, but what the hell happened? First things first. Let's rewind and return to the very start of this highly unfavorable situation we find ourselves in. What? Yep. Yup. That's me. You're probably wondering how I got in this situation. I have a clock for a head. There I was, still perplexed by the incidents at T-Corp, with my awful idea of clearing the air by asking Virgilius for our next destination, not knowing the storm that my innocent question would bring. Verily, my step misheard. I'm quite certain you didn't, Quixote. Oh yeah, I should do Pulse. The oh fuck, ads. There's no ads. I hate you, Twitch. But like, people don't know the deal with warp trains, right? Maybe Don Quixote does, for some reason. That a warp train station must have some conundrum that must be resolved there. Indeed, a quest that must be swiftly addressed at the station. Yes. Did a distortion pop up in one of the warp platforms or something? I see that you are now significantly less disinclined to take on some side jobs, but no. We are boarding the warp train to get to P-Corp. End of story. There's nothing in between the lines, so don't try reading into it. It was only natural that the sinners immediately fell into a state of collective, dumbfounded shock. None of the sinners have any history of working at W Corp, but... Oh, right! Because they have the IDs! That they have the identities of the warp train, so they fucking know what happens on there. Oh, that's cool. Through that vague information we could gather from the identities, we had all some fragmentary knowledge about the terrible secrets of the warp train's operations. Did I read Dante's notes? No. Yeah, it's just, I'm trying to like get caught back up on the game. I'm doing the... Yeah. I'm doing the mini-sodes, and then... Yeah. I initially considered hiding this information from the rest of the sinners, but since sharing things with everyone and letting them get their 2 cents in usually ended up being pretty helpful, I've been sharing more of these as of late. Though I have very dim, if present at all, recollections from the time during which I wear the identities. It can be determined from the conversational records between the manager and the identities that the mechanisms behind the warp train's operations can be deemed as somewhat bizarre and inefficient. Evolve? Oh, is it like, they tried to make Spore good? Yeah, it's a 10-second trip that actually takes a long time, right? And when the train reaches the destination, they just wipe the passengers' memories? Incremental number game. I also heard that the passengers get so tired and weary that they start literally ripping and tearing into one another. Sounds like I might finally have a chance to see a masterpiece with my own eyes. Even when the sinners wear the identities through my identity cards, the identities, memories, or beliefs don't bleed into them once it's over and done with. I remember when Faust explained that, due to the risks associated with embracing such influences, there was a filtering process to intentionally block them from reaching the sinners. That's why the sinners could use the identities of some of our worst enemies without getting infected by their philosophies and whatnot. But it also meant that they couldn't retain any new information that each identity has to offer. That's why I keep a record of some things that sound particularly important and sometimes share it with the rest of the sinners. My voice doesn't really carry well past the window, so most of our communications are one-sided, but I had an abundance of W Corp identities, so it wasn't difficult to piece together the truth behind the trains. But, maybe ignorance really is bliss. Your alarmed response and possible incompliance have already been accounted for. Lady Faust, then thou hast known this all along? Wherefore hast thou not deigned to tell me of this? Faust has indeed known this all along, as no knowledge is out of Faust's reach. As expected, a solution to your dilemma has already been prepared. I seriously doubt your solutions involves not getting on the train. So what is it? The bus. Oh, what about the bus? There's no way this thing fits inside a train car. Charon V2's too. No one to feed Mephi when Charon's gone. Miss Faust. The rearmost tail cars of warp trains are all freight cars. This is where Mephistopheles will be safely fastened and transported. And the LCB will have the benefit of boarding as first-class passengers. The bus begins to swell with noise again, though in a slightly different air to the alarmed response from earlier. First class passengers? What, the seats for those pompous toffs? Even on normal trains, you got those sods whose proudest accomplishment in life is planting their asses in first class seats, while others are cramming themselves into freight cars because they haven't the cash for even an economy ticket. Hey, don't look at me. I've never been in one of those first class seats either before. Isn't the ticket for a single first class seat like as expensive as 3 or 4 months' salary of a first year wing employee? Can our budget really handle getting a ticket for all of us? The company's budget is not a subject that warrants your concern. I think she's telling us that they don't give a fuck. They have so much money. I heard first class passengers get some cool bonus stuff like personalized private capsules or something, don't they? That is the promotional language, yes. They are flash freeze hibernation capsules, to be precise. They have been designed to easily withstand the true amount of time it takes for the warp train to travel from point A to point B. The trip will be over in the blink of an eye for the passengers. The company's regard for our well-being is unfamiliar yet welcome. You saying so true. So true. To be provided such extravagance merely for our comfort, such occurrence is quite seldom. I imagine they don't want Dante's clock getting damaged. Right? I honestly thought they were going to slip just the guide and Karan into the first class seats and ship the rest of us in the economy cars. This seems like an unnecessary luxury. They should have saved their budget and given only the executive manager and their loyal advisor access to those seats. Yeah, Heathcliff. Heathcliff, my loyal advisor. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're taking the train to get our next mission, alright? We have to think about the unique nature of warp trains and prepare ourselves accordingly. Right? I know it's first class and all, but warp trains are just plain creepy. I know you'd also be worried about... For example, economy passengers are going to have a hard time getting into a first class car. They could even attempt to open it. I mean, I'm pretty sure the door separating the cars is ironclad. Ishmael, who'd been holding that first class promotional pamphlet in her hands for a while, was chattering on with fire in her eyes. We won't even have to lift a finger. We just have to board the train, get into our capsules, shut our eyes, and snooze through the entire ride until all that mess in the other cars blows over. I heard they used to give out commemorative merch back when their finances weren't in the gutter. Oh, W Corp is failing. No. Yeah. No, I have to go buy the W Corp baseball hat in real life to save the company. Oh, a true adventure is not without its hardships, yet even the most exalted of heroes cannot venture without respite. And in very rare occasions, the hero may even deign to select a first-class seat to rest in place of a quaint inn. Indeed, indeed. Oh, that's funny. It's whatever the fucking Dark Days and White Nights or whatever that fucking shit was. It's that they mentioned in the fucking mini-sode. Seems like everyone is at least somewhat interested in the fabled first-class seats of warp trains. I could sense that there was a growing consensus among the sinners that even a warp train trip might be acceptable if it meant they could ride in the first-class seats. I will board the train if I must. Is first-class seating mandatory? I prefer the scenic route. Don't want to miss out on all the fun. Vergilius pretended to not hear Ryoshi's question. Very well. Then I assume that we are all in agreement. Let's go. It was, Multi-Cracker Faust, Multi-Cracker Heathcliff, right? Yeah, I have a matter of great import to discuss with thee. Yeah, I remember that. We're getting to the part of the game where I was actually playing often when it was coming out. What is it? Out with it, lass. Beating around the bush ain't like you. Don Quixote carefully began, almost whispering in a low voice. That is, in the first class seats. I have heard tell that we must board with our feet from our boots. Doth that claim hold water? Oh no! Oh, come on now. What kind of nonsense gossip is coming from this time? It is no gossip, forsooth. I have heard aught from those we have walked past here today, and when one of them inquired, do you know you gotta go barefoot in first class, right? The other responded with, of course, man. What am I, stupid? Doth the traveler speak true, Ishmael? Don't ask me. I've never been in one of these either. I don't remember seeing anything like that on the pamphlet. Give me a sec. I mustn't be separated from Rocinante, not even for a twinkle. I shan't toss Rocinante to the side next to such vulgarity like the ugly shoes of Sir Heathcliff. Oh, you little... I implore thee, O illustrious red gaze, prithee grant me thy permission and allow me to board with Rocinante. I expected Virgilius to answer with his usual exasperated rebuff. Contrary to my expectations, however, he responded in a somewhat serious tone, if tainted by that familiar annoyance. Fine. Keep your shoes on. Aw, she's gonna fucking break the train. Jesus Christ. Right. Polls. Oh, that's some...
다음 세상으로 넘어가려면 자, 여기구나.
Oh, Dimension Shredder on Lou.
원망도 뉘우침도 소용이 없었으니 그저
Oh, it's the Red Eyes. One of the Red Eyes. No, is it the new one? It is the new one.
복을 구하고 싶다면 정성을 들여.
I can use 2 of these. That was a good pull. Hold on, what do I need to do this? Okay. That it needs a lot. It needs a lot of blue. Okay. Wait, hold on. I gotta clear these out. That's fine. I can just not bring my Yisang to the battles. This place is huge. That's my first impression of the warp train station. Oh, so this is... Don Quixote shouted vibrantly, immediately recovered from her previous apprehension of the sheer possibility that she might be separated from Rocinante. So each nest has one of these massive structures in them? I've got nothing. Oh, wait, know anything about what they're asking? Heathcliff asked, gesturing towards Marceau with his chin. Every warp train station has been built with a general design philosophy that draws from their respective nests' architectural idiosyncrasies. It can be said that many critics in relevant fields praise the warp train stations as one of the many cultural cornerstones of the city. My question is there... I know there's, like, in the city and out of the city. Are there any other, like, cities? Or is there just what? Is this, like, fucking Ruby? Where there's like 4 towns ever, and if you don't have a big fucking mega city, it's not fucking worth it. Oh my god, it's like fucking Ruby. This is unbelievable. I have no idea when it happened, but Heathcliff's starting to treat Marceau like a walking encyclopedia from time to time. Marceau, young Marceau. Lo, is that passenger over yonder, one from the west? Can... Okay. That's true. Dude, what if they got like a really fast plane? Oh, but they haven't like invented like planes, right? Because long distance travel is like using planes is just inefficient because you're not even traveling that far because there's one place to go. Incorrect. Leather-based clothing and metal armor are predominant fashion trends often visible in the outfits of the Western population. While that individual's cloth-based style is something ubiquitously observed throughout the population of the North and South, they are largely considered to be an Eastern fashion trend, rarely seen among Western. Yeah. Prithee, slow thyself, for I must make record of thy lectures. What wisdom dost thou have to impart regarding the fashion of the northern region? I have once espied in a magazine that they are garbed in puffy, loose-fitting outfits. Understandably so, given the colder climate of the region. An opportunity for first-hand observation stands before you. Oh! Ah! 3 seconds of screaming duet. One of utter fascination, the other of unmitigated frustration. What the shit? You've nearly blown my eardrums. You're the weird one to talk. Dude, I've got an audible frequency range expansion implant in my eardrums. Holy shit, man. Now get the hell out of my way. You're blocking the walkway like a ragtag Panda Hicks who's not even seen a warp train before. Damn it, I take the train all the way here for an expedition only to lose my target. Now these assholes are trying to blow up my eardrums. Great, just great. I love this. Guys, is it that obvious we've never been on a warp train? Guys! Are we the assholes? And the round trip ticket fee came straight out of my own damn pocket. Well, watch out, big fella. Someone might actually get seriously hurt if you keep swinging those 4 arms around, each holding a weapon to boot. Prithee, wilt thou stand still but for a moment to satisfy a few inquiries of mine regarding the outfit? Yes, stand in absolute stillness for 5 minutes and I... Seriously? The fixer, with a particularly impressive set of prosthetic arms, spent a few minutes venting several of his numerous grievances at us before storming off to a different platform. Ah, indeed, just grand, the city of sundry odd personalities. I'm pretty sure that's a multi-crack office fixer. I know, because he's got the arms. I'm pretty sure he was thinking the same thing. I guess there really are a lot of people in the city with full body prosthetics. That's when Virgilius slowly walked up to our group. Well then, we'll rendezvous at the destination. Huh? Will the illustrious Red Gaze not ride alongside us? W Corp policy demands that fixers bestowed with a color title must board a train specifically prepared for them instead. Oh, are you like riding the first class plus or something? That's a color fixer for you, I guess. Special treatment from the wings no matter where he goes. Charon wants to go back to Mephi. Mephi feels lonely. I've told you before, Charon, 3 separate times actually, each time I bought you one of those candies that people aren't allowed aboard the freight cars. Then, Miss Faust. Yes. Virgilius, after exchanging a knowing look and a nod with Faust, escorted the particularly peeved Charon away. Dante, let us proceed this way. We followed Faust's guidance to the entrance of our train car. Damn. Whoa, hey, our colors are starting to come back. Oh, hey, these must be the fabled complimentary food and drink of the first class seats. Heck yeah, of course. Quality stuff like these gotta be included with that insane pricing. The general response to this room was a surprise at the rows upon rows of expensive looking sizable capsules. Flash freeze hibernation, huh? I guess it literally freezes our bodies in a flash. Faust, these are flash freeze hibernation devices. Are these flash freeze hibernation devices safe? Please elaborate on your exact definition of safe. God damn it, Faust. I just wanted your affirmation. You don't have to make it a fucking problem. These things are supposed to freeze a solid, right? Can we really come back from something like that? A flash freeze hibernation device will put you in a temporary state of death caused by rapid cellular cryopreservation process. However, the rapidity of the process prevents damage to your cells during this phase change. Therefore, in most normal cases, this will not cause any issues. Faust is aware that this model has fully resolved cell membrane breaches issues caused by a cryogenic density change or by the ice crystal growth of water molecules. I missed about half of what you said, but your point is that it's safe, right? Yes, as far as Faust is aware, even if an issue were to arise during the journey, because everyone will be reverted to their states at the beginning of the train trip upon arrival, there won't be any lasting complications from the said problem. You've got some real talent in dragging out something so simple as, yeah, it's safe, to so many words. Seriously. Indeed, as Faust's talents are not limited to a singular field. Faust knows how to take a sarcastic compliment. Holy shit. What the fuck? I must fucking died live on stream. Well, I would have been died on. I wouldn't be live on stream. I would be fucking dead. Holy fuck. Don't drink water. It's dangerous. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. As far as Faust is aware, are you saying it could be wrong? As a general rule, Faust does not err. However, Faust is also not a divine being. Thank you, Faust. Oh. Excuse me. There are certain information in the world that Faust has yet to have access to. Therefore, while Faust may speak the facts, that is, what's said may not always align with the truth. Okay. They don't always call first class for nothing, I guess. P-Corp's way up there in the northernmost corner of the city, but this thing will take us there in the blink of an eye, huh? That's one hell of a time saver. It technically doesn't. I've been meaning to ask Don Quixote. Do you ever, wash those shoes? Where'd that come from, Bird? Yeah? No, I mean, like, think back to when we were inside that whale. When that whale blew up, we got all kind of its gross slimy bits on us. They were on our clothes, our shoes, everything. Yeah. Do you remember how much we had to scrub to get that bloody fishy fleshy gunk out of our clothes? This really isn't something I want to revisit, but yeah. Right? And you also remember how Don Quixote never took her shoes off once during that whole ordeal? Okay, I guess they do look a bit filthy. I must be their compatriots. Hast thou ever witnessed an errant knight who leaves the side of their beloved steed? Can't say I've ever witnessed a knight before, though. That thou shalt know, starting now, behold it, hearken to it, and remember it well. They don't spare us for even a moment of quiet, do they? Whoa, have you been on one of these, Otis? I have been treated to premium VIP seats of similar grandiosity back when. This is nothing to fuss over. Otis, who was sitting there and shaking her legs, suddenly asked Faust a question. Hey, you're confident that no accidents ever occurred on one of these first-class cars, yes? In order to prevent cases of unnecessary anxiety and misgivings among the sinners, the history of accidents that has occurred aboard work trains will not be shared. Jesus Christ. Faust really knows how to do corpo speak. Wait, what the? What do you mean, Lovetown? Is this from Lobotomy Corporation? Oh, I think we're leaving soon. This is for Warp Train PW612 bound for P Corp. We don't talk. I guess I'll stop talking. I'll stop asking about it. I'm sorry. Boarding period is ending soon. The sitters, who were either leisurely enjoying their complimentary snacks or taking a look around the first class car, suddenly became a bit busier. Then let us hurry and enter our capsules before it is too late. I can just imagine Heathcliff just like eating a single potato chip and be like, crisp, of course. And then he grabs like a whole handful and then just fucking shoves them in his face. Heathcliff seems like the kind of guy to, at the movie theater, takes as big a handful as possible of popcorn and then try to shove the entire thing in his mouth. It's clever. What did you mean by this? What do you mean by this, clever? Oh no, why isn't this? The other sinners made into their capsules, no problem, but I felt like I was the only one who's fumbling. Is it anxiety, Dante? I think so. Initiating warp in 10 minutes. Allow me to assist you. Stand as though you're leaning back and... Faust expertly guided me in the capsule as though she'd done something like this before. She probably has. Then press the button inside the capsule that closed the hatch. You will get it if you play Library of Ruina. Do not worry too much. We will meet again in but a moment, Dante. Don Quixote's danced up? Initiating warp. Please confirm that your seatbelts are firmly fastened. The last thing I saw before my capsule began to fill with gas was Faust climbing into her own capsule opposite of mine. I had no idea then what she meant by "we will meet again in but a moment." Dante, you must wake up, Dante. But one thing I knew for sure was, an inconceivable situation has occurred. That something had seriously gone wrong. There's a fucking distortion aboard the fucking train. It's the fucking Dimension Shredder guy. We're here already? Well, I guess that wasn't an exaggeration at all. It all really happens in the blink of an eye. As always, Faust was giving me her usual look, was a complete lack of any emotive expression. Which I suppose is why I didn't immediately register that something had gone awry. Oh, wait, are there ads? I have to know, are the ads real, or am I just being gaslit? Oh, No, we're not yet at our destination. Huh? When I finally came to, and after I had some time to digest that odd reply, I looked up at her face once again. And I realized that her expression was more antsy than usual by a microscopically minuscule degree. So this train is still running? You better go catch it! Faust is like, Dante, this is a serious situation. This is no time for jokes. And Dante is like, isn't it always a serious situation with no time for jokes with you? And she says, yes. Now shut the fuck up. Then, where are we? I believe we are currently stranded in an unidentified dimension. Coordinates unknown. I took a reflexive deep breath from the sheer horror of the numerous implications stuffed into that dryly delivered sentence. When that passed, the first thing that struck my mind was that we were about to suffer the very thing that we were so worried about. I see. But I soon found myself calming down. Yeah, this had to be a part of Faust's plan. She probably saw this coming from a while away. Nope. I'm sure she's about to proudly tell me every little detail of her plan that will help us out of this situation. But this is all just part of the plan, right, Faust? That was an unusually long silence from Faust. You are half correct, yet half incorrect. With that, Faust, no signal. Faust left me to flounder in the chaotic stream of vaguely terrifying information as she began stopping by each capsule to wake the sinners. We're getting some Faust lore? We're seeing the cracks start to form? Oh, we're here already? Man, it happened in the blink of an... No. Oh, what's this? We're here already? For real? It happened with the blink of an eye. No. Fuck you, Yusang. Yet I have not uttered a single word. There's a brief cheer, a little hurrah about regaining our colors, followed by a flat tone explanation of our current predicament, which was then followed by a long loaded silence, which was a sequence of events I had the pleasure of watching play out on 10 consecutive occasions. Dante, I understand your confusion, however, perhaps an elaboration of our present circumstance is necessary. And that brings us to the present. Let me get this straight. This train's still running, and we're drifting through some unknown dimension? Ooh, aught about that striketh me as quite dramatic. Most importantly, are you saying that you already knew that this would happen, Faust? Yes. What? What the hell is wrong with you, huh? Gregory's like, fuck you, dude. This is a real Kafka-esque situation. Of course, this was... That's true. There's a lot of things wrong with everyone on this fucking train. Of course, this wasn't the first time Faust and Virgilius intentionally and knowingly omitted certain details about events in our path. What, are you insane? It's not like we can just retreat or jump out that door when stuff hits the fan. Oh, wait. Depending on how the memory wipe works, Dante might get to keep their memory. It's not like we could just retreat or jump out that door when stuff hits the fan. Opening the door will result in nearly immediate destruction of the physical body. Obliteration of forehead, even. But hey, pal, at least you know what to do like you always do. You got a plan, right? Right? Faust, who I had rarely ever seen at a loss for words, was unusually slow to respond. What's up with her? Last looks totally out of it today. She gives me a sideways glance. There must be something she can't discuss in front of the sinners. Guys, let's pause for a bit. He says that something inconceivables happened. The other sinner's anger was completely understandable. It also makes sense that this continued lack of communication was harming our trusted Faust. Alright, we're going to go over the situation from the start, okay? And who knows if you'll ever leave. Generally, that's how being trapped works. So yeah. But just letting things play out. I mean, here's the thing, is fucking with Don Quixote, you don't need to send her to another dimension. You just need a really big piece of glue paper, all right? The fucking flytrap glue paper. Besides, I doubt Faust woke us up in the middle of a trip just to spite us. First things first, I gotta get the sinners to calm down. Then I'll ask Faust to tell us what happens. If there's a problem, we'll figure it out and deal with it as we move along. Tell us what's going on, Faust. All of it, and in a way that we can all understand. Let's hear her out first. Is that okay with you guys? If you say so, I'll go along with it. Fine. I suppose losing my rag rarely ever did anything. Thank you, then. The gist of Faust's explanation was as follows. The cause of this issue, as always, involved a certain contract and a unilateral decision from the higher-ups of Limbus Company. W Corp caught wind of Limbus Company's recent distortion contract management promotions and decided to contract us to deal with a mysterious repeated series of incidents suspected to have been caused by a distortion, after multiple failed attempts to resolve it on their own, of course. Distortions themselves likely did not pose a problem for W Corp. Based on the available information, it can be determined that they would have all been neutralized as soon as the train arrived, and any transformed passengers would have been reverted to their human forms. But the real issue was that the passengers were disappearing. Passengers spirited away? Alas, such is an impossibility aboard these trains, is it not? That is the question for which we must discover the precise cause and effect of. Did W Corp share anything to get us started? That appears to be the most prominent cause of this misunderstanding. She explained that W Corp refused to share anything about the trains because they were concerned about maintaining the secrets of their singularity. Maybe that's exactly why they sought out an upstart business like Limbus Company to deal with this, now that I think about it. Little did they know, we actually already know basically how it works. We wouldn't even know where to start if we didn't have access to the information that the identity cards had to offer. Faust produced what appeared to be a keycard with the W Corp logo on it before continuing with her explanations. However, we were given this master keycard that can open and close this hibernation capsules at will. We may return to our respective capsules as soon as the contract is fulfilled and safely complete the rest of the journey as we had planned from the beginning. These bloody wings. Every single one of them's been absolutely barmy. I think it's a bit unkind to ask of them to ask us to finish the puzzle with all the important pieces. At least at T-Corp, their chief executive director tagged along as our assistant, not to mention kindly explaining so many new things to us. It sounds like Miss Faust was stuck between a rock and a hard place herself. Some sinners grew more receptive after her explanations, albeit with a sigh. Would have appreciated it if you at least gave us a hint. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but it's not like there's someone out there monitoring your every move and every word, right? Oh, and they probably didn't tell Virgilius anything. That is... But not everyone was willing to let this go without saying their piece. Next time, I will take your inputs into account. And that's everything I can do for her. It's an undeniable truth that Faust has disappointed the sinners with what she's done. But she is Faust, after all. I'm sure he has backup plans to get us out of this situation. So what's next on our agenda? Yeah, what's done is done, right? Besides, it's not like we gotta rot away for thousands of years inside this metal box. That is something I must first discuss with Dante. But discussing things with other people is very unlike Faust. What are we discussing, Faust? We must converse in a lower volume, Dante. Why are we whispering? Your secretive attitude only exacerbated my already battered sense of safety. My connection to Gesellschafted, Faust, has been severed. I'm sorry, what? I cannot access Faust's knowledge at the moment. Oh. What is the shitpost? Oh, is it fucking Faust has a psychic connection to every other Faust? Is that how that works? That's a cool way of interpreting the fucking uh uh original story. That's funny. I like that.
와일드 헌트.
Yeah, I'm just not bringing it. What do you mean you can't? I mean in the most literal sense. My access to Faust's input and information, which has always been readily available, is completely severed. Oh, is the reason why she refers to herself in the third person, it's like a royal we scenario, but it's literally a we? Yeah, where it's like she's not referring to herself. She is referring to the concept of Faust. That's cool. Oh, what if everything about this situation is something you don't have access to yet, like you said last time? One cannot completely dismiss that possibility, but even that is uncertain. Every answer Faust has given me is always full of confidence and methodical expertise. I don't think she's ever said a sentence that was this full of speculation and doubt. Banned from the Faust court. Oh no, Faust, you shouldn't have said all those slurs. Oh no. You shouldn't have said the word I. Then Faust, you are... Yes, at this moment I am limited to operating only with my knowledge. I cannot discern the cause of this disconnection. More than enough precautions have likely been taken in case of interdimensional travel, but perhaps Faust did not take into account an occasion in which we may have to access an unidentified dimension such as this. Or even if it was taken into account, the particular dimension may not yet have been subject to cross-observation. Okay. Oh, and so that's why Faust was able to make the fucking interdimensional engine. Because with access to memories from other Fausts in other dimensions and the fucking mirror, she would be able to do research. Like, it would be really easy for all of them to build it. If that is not the case, then no, never mind. There was nothing that suggested that my connection to Faust would be lost, not even as we boarded the train. To be honest, this is a rather disagreeable situation for me. Alright, for now. Now that changes everything. I recalled the last thing I saw before the hatch on the capsule closed, when Faust told me not to worry too much. Okay, this is just a minor setback. Nothing we can't beat, right? We got this. Began to mutter like I was trying to convince myself. As the manager, my job is to calm everyone down and set their sights on the future, just as Faust did for me immediately before the hatch closed. If you're right about why you were disconnected, then that problem will solve itself once we're off the train. And if we do ever run out of options, I'll just turn the clock back and see what happens. Don't stress yourself too much. We still have a lot to work with. Your knowledge, my clock, and the sinners, and I feel my confidence taking a hit with every word that came out of my metaphorical mouth. But that seemed to be enough for Faust. She nodded. Oh, Dante. Dante cares. And that's why they're awesome. And to the sinners, the fact that we are currently confined to a warp train in operation must be a source of enough stress. I believe that sharing Faust's current state with them would add an unnecessary source of tension. What, so wrecking this doors ain't gonna do anything? We're all gonna bite it once it opens? How many times do I have to tell you that you're not even strong enough to break this door down? 1 billion years in this box? Yeah, good idea. So, what now? Do we have to take a searching sweep around each car or something? In the grand scheme of things, yes. Faust cleared the air with a cough before continuing. By A-Corp's standard timescale, approximately 3 days have passed since our departure. As per the contract between Limbus Company and W Corp, I acquired the master keycard placed inside my capsule and adjusted the hatch settings to open automatically in 3 days. 3 days, huh? Feel like I just blinked, and I guess that's hibernation for you. Oh, if I remember correctly, the multi-crack Faust identity story was someone convincing her to get a fucking first class ticket. So I feel like that fucking oh, and the Dimension Shredder fucking distortion has fucking 4 arms. As you were all informed prior to boarding, there's no way for the economy class passengers to enter the first class car. That is why this place has remained untouched. It could be a coincidence, but I'm gonna stick with my guns. However, cross-referencing my own deductions and W Corp's rather fragmentary explanations, I can assume that the situation is currently under progress in the economy class cars. The situation from Jersey Shore? Oh, how did he get here? Jersey is so far away. The part where they thrash the shite out of one another and tearing the looms off and all the mess? No, I doubt that. I don't think it gets that bad in just 3 days. Besides, that's supposed to be business as usual for W Corp, right? There must be something else that's out of the ordinary that they want us to deal with. And precisely, in my opinion, it is... Oh, hold that thought for a moment. Just as Faust was about to continue, Don Quixote raised her index finger to her lips and signaled her to be quiet. Dost thou hear aught as I do? Scratching, nay, rapping, forsooth. Past this case must be... Don Quixote kept listening with her ear to the door. An odd expression of half curiosity and half horror appeared on her face. It is possible that there must be... Lady Faust? After that very distressful noise, everyone simultaneously turns their heads to look at Faust, who closed her eyes briefly and thought. Please step aside for a moment, Don Quixote. It would be best if I observed it with my own eyes. With that, she produced the master keycard from her pocket and approached the panel installed next to the door. Whoa, hang on a minute. You're gonna open the door? I intend to follow our your usual flavor of suggestion, Heathcliff. Oh, that there are times in which a physical altercation is preferable to detached ruminations. Huh? My suggestion? Well, I ain't gonna disagree with you there, but what's gotten into you? Aw, Heathcliff, he's paying attention. He's like, you know what? You make a very good point. After all, how could I deduce anything without seeing it myself? Bleep. After a brief mechanical beep, hideous creature suddenly crashed through the open door and charged wildly in our direction. Oh, and there's gonna be a fucking... If I remember from the event, there's a fucking... the murder on the W Corp Express. There's a blood fiend in here somewhere.
가서 할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고. 저보다 한 주먹거리도 안 되는 놈들이니까.
Wait, hold on. Okay, they were cooking.
전투에 임하겠습니다.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, you introduced that to me when I did this event for the first time. Tails, tails, tails. No. We're too goated.
결국 마지막까지 서 있는 놈이 이기는 거라니까. 잘 들어. 아픈 거 생각하지 말고 저 새끼 죽은 다음만 생각해. 그럼 공격이 더 매서워지거든.
완벽한 한 발을 위해 안심이다. 고통은 없어.
The new Faust ID has self-burn, but you're so ugly even I would be ashamed to date you, like that kind of self-burn. Oh, like the burn status. Oh, okay, silly me. Lady Faust, however similar in appearance they may have been to the passengers, verily 'tis as though they were in complete want of sense, like people politified by the whale. Don Quixote hesitated until the last second to raise her weapon against them. She hung her head mournfully. Normally, Faust would have told her more information about those monsters before the fight began, and she would not have been burdened by the sheer thought of bringing harm to the innocent. Faust began searching the area, closely observing various bodies in the general area for information. You appear particularly inquisitive today, Miss Faust. Oh yeah, aren't you usually the one who has all the answers while we're racking our brains trying to come up with something? The sinners were starting to feel that there's something off about Faust's behavior. They might even soon realize that there's something wrong with Faust. Don Quixote, they are not dead. Huh? Observe closer. The parts are all tethered to one another by something, are they not? Oh, it appears that the flow of time has ceased in this space. Therefore, it follows that the connections that tether bodies to life and away from death remain intact. To my relief, Faust managed to correctly figure out what's going on like her usual self, even if it took her slightly longer than it usually does. Hey, what did I say? We got this. Huh? What was that about? Oh, another thing. Dante! Get yourself a friend like Dante, who will out the fact that you're feeling bad to everyone just to give you some emotional support. But I've forgotten that not all the sinners were content with nodding along to whatever information Faust told us. The flow of time has ceased aboard a warp train, is it? Yusang grew pensive. Seeing that, Faust's lips parted for a moment before closing shut. I was starting to get a good read of her expressions. That was an unmistakable look of regret, however short-lived. Albeit, would it not be more accurate to muse that the flow of time has decelerated to the point where, to an extra-dimensional observer, it has slowed to a stop? What is your perspective regarding this suggestion? Yes, that is the most rational suggestion, you say. Huh? Did Miss Faust just get something wrong? Sinclair, shut the fuck up! Shut the hell up, dude. I'm so sorry. I told Sinclair to shut the fuck up with such force I almost shit myself. His stream is not going well. Oh. Wow, you saying sure is a time expert, right? Can you summarize it in easier language now that we're talking about it anyway? Huh, gladly, if you would allow me. Yi Sang began to elaborate with gentle enthusiasm. That was close. To speak in brevity, it can be said that death is not an element aboard this train. And can you maybe speak it maybe a little less brevity? To elaborate. Verily, this one's heart beats still. Don Quixote lowers her head and listens closely to what appeared to be a dismembered torso, and shouts with relief. Their state is akin to an unassembled jigsaw puzzle, merely immobilized and separated. Though their corpus has been sundered, the concept of death is a state of, for all intents and purposes, eternal delay aboard this train, existence in continuous of moratorium. Forced they are to be tethered upon the thinnest yet tenacious thread of life. I ill understood what hath been said here, yet they are not dead all the same, Their severed parts are all connected. It can be said that no matter how entangled their bodies become, it is not impossible to eventually gather their parts together to form a single passenger. Thus, naturally, we can determine how and why the profession W Corp cleanup agent has come to be. I see, because someone will have to categorize and reconstruct these puzzles once the journey is over. It's really baffling to me that a job like that even exists. Ever seen a wing that wasn't baffling in every sense of that word? Still, I guess that means that as long as the train arrives at the station, they'll all be put back together like nothing happened? What is being in W Corp's wing even like? Right? Because you don't have to use the train. The train is the fucked up part. Maybe that's like the most normal wing. What I learned through the W Corp identities, their main job was to gather chunks of flesh. Oh, do they not have like any like land? It's just the train stations? But do they have like a neighborhood? So as long as you don't go on the train, the stations are probably normal. What I learned through the W Corp identities, the main job was to gather chunks of flesh together to bring them back to their original shapes before they boarded the trains. District 23. Okay. Okay. It's a lot more visceral when I have to look at it in person. District 23 is also the cannibal district. What do you mean the cannibal district? Is there fucking singularity? They turned humans into fucking Soylent Green? Whew, that is quite the auspicious news among ill tidings indeed. It soon clicked in me what Faust was, through some awkward effort, trying to do as I watched Don Quixote sigh with relief. No, Backstreet's people turned people into food. Maybe Faust is trying to cheer Don Quixote up in her own way. The other Faust would not find it even necessary to do something like that. People who suffer more? It's like you're fucking seasoning them? Oh, that's funny. Dante. Huh? What's up? Oh, time to whisper, right? Indeed. I intend to collect further intelligence. It's like, yeah, you're pretty down on intelligence right now. This world sucks. Dude. I mean, the fact that the world sucks makes it even nicer that Dante's just chill about it. Well, if there's anything I can tell you... Faust cast a dark gaze toward the chunks of flesh. Her gaze remained fixed upon them as she whispered. Are they distortions or abnormalities? Oh yeah, I actually wanted to ask you about that. They weren't humans, that's for sure. From them, I felt the same sensation I felt from monsters. Something inexplicable, an unclear sensation, or an aura. I felt this somewhere before, I'm sure of it, but I couldn't quite pinpoint the source of the sensation. One thing I do know for sure is that the sensation was not the same feeling I got from abnormalities, distortions, or even the Picatula. They're fucking vampire fucking thralls. If I had to lean one way or the other, I'd say they're closer to distortions. I'm sorry, I don't think they're either of those. Is it difficult to be certain at the moment? Again, I'm not sure how I can explain this, but they're very, very similar to distortions, but also different. Yeah. I'm assuming they're incredibly closely based on vampires with some pretty major differences. If they were called vampires, no one would bat an eye. If you had to ask them, I'm gonna guess Faust doesn't know. Faust may know, but I, at this moment, have no way of knowing. I feel like I should apologize for that. There is no need, Dante. Though the information you have provided me is rather ambiguous, it has helped me deduce something of worth. And collecting intelligence myself and creating deductions based on sparse information is quite... She paused, holding a bloody, slimy chunk of flesh in her hands. Did she just smile to herself with gore in her hands? Shut the fuck up. We're making progress. Ooh, finally the awakening has begun. All right, I'm turning things in my mind. I'm enjoying all the Faust lore.
선택받았으니까 그렇겠죠?
After a round of intelligence gathering from Faust, we opened the door to the next cabin, only to be greeted with a loud commotion. Sounds like there are other survivors. Ah, passengers in danger, worry not, I have arrived to... Whoa, don't come any closer. Who the hell are you guys? Four-armed woman suddenly jumped in our path. She appeared without warning. Faust stumbled a little, inadvertently slapped by the figure's swinging arms as she pushed us away. Right, like you gave me any warning before you practically kicked that door open. Would you mind moving that huge sword out of our faces? It's a bit threatening. Threatening? I'm just trying to protect those civilians in this car. Also, is that a bioprosthetic? Must be an old-timer, huh? I thought those things went out of style forever ago. Oh, you want to see what those old-timers got left in them? Aha, thou art from the north, verily? Thy garb is out of northerners, no? This really ain't the time, lads. Anyway, it looks like we're in the same mess here. Make way for us, yeah? She seemed to be sizing us up for a moment. Nah, how do I trust you? Got any proof that you ain't bitten? I'm not gonna let all my effort protecting this place goes to waste. Bitten? The bloody hell you're talking about? Bloody hell. Get it? Because they're blood fiends. Weird, you look completely lost. You're in one of the economy cars I'm sure you've seen. Hold on. Are y'all from the first class car? Yeah, we just woke up from our capsules. But none of you look very mean. Aren't the first class seats supposed to be, well, why didn't you say so from the get-go? Name's Sasha, multi-crack office rep. With that, she lowered her weapons and allowed us to pass. Have you not left this car for the duration of the ride, Sasha? No, I haven't. We warped over to T-Corp after picking up one of their contracts, but geez, can you believe that this train broke down? Shit, is it even broken? Yeah. I'm not feeling hungry or sleepy at all. It stinks of some shady bullshit, if you ask me. You can feel all that even on a prosthetic body? Man, how could I live without my favorite hobby, drifting into a sweet nap after a pleasant meal? So I made sure to get high quality parts for him so I can still feel hungry and sleepy. This feels like a real Dino Nuggets situation. Hasn't something else of note also occurred? You bet your ass did something else go down. In Ruina, one of the first few groups you murder are people who got cheap full body replacements, but they can't experience eating food or sleeping and have to pay for maintenance. Oof. I don't know what happens in Ruina. So I mean, I'm assuming you murder a bunch of people. How distracting. Is it hard for you to speak without being so hyper? Or at least stop swinging your arms around like that? Can't do that, friend. I broke all my prosthetic arms in a fight, so I'm calibrating a new set. Gotta keep swinging them if I want to sync up with the other parts anytime soon. Technically, you can claim castle doctrine. Since they are coming to your place to rob you? Wait, are you playing as like the librarian in that game? Anywho, I don't know what the hell's going on, but people started turning into some weird monsters all of a sudden. You are the library? What the fuck? I'm the walrus. Ringo Starr got invited to the library? Clever, I don't think you understand. I'm in a Discord server that's unrelated to fucking Project Moon. And there are fucking 1,000 Project Moon memes posted every single day. It's an absolute nightmare. I had to fucking mute the channel so I didn't get spoiled. But I love just seeing like weird references to Ruina and Lobotomy Corporation that I don't understand. Having a goddamn clue as to who they are. Don't seem like they can understand us either. Good thing my train car didn't have a lot of those monsters. I just chopped what monsters there were to pieces and hauled the civilians to this vacant car. 3,201 red colors. You've decided to protect them despite the potential risk that they may transform as well. But of course, 'tis expected duty of any valorous fixer to stand guard in the front lines against evil to protect the weak. I've been keeping a close eye on them for the past 3 days, and so far, 0 transformations. You go past this car and you'll see what hell on earth really means. Those monsters are constantly trying to claw their way to the front of the train. So if you ask me, I'd wager that some shit went down there, one of the train cars in the back, and it spread like wildfire till it reached here. If this is our fault, that's gonna be a fucking problem. And that's all I can tell you about the situation. So, what's your story? Why'd you rich first-class folks suddenly decide to grace us peasants with your presence? Nothing that's happening here could have made it to your swanky first-class cars, so what's your business down here? W Corp has hired us to solve this case. We are, fixers! Indeed, fixers. Faust nodded reluctantly as she affirmed Don Quixote's boisterous declaration. Huh. They got every single one of you a first-class ticket? Your ops must be rolling in the dough. Wait a goddamn second. So W Corp already knew that this would happen? But, are you really contracted to a wing? Not sure if I trust you. As you may be well aware yourself, contracts and contract fulfillment are of paramount importance for fixers. With that in mind, please recall that W Corp is one of the most secretive wings in the city. Ah, a non-disclosure agreement, huh? Makes sense. I wouldn't want to deal with those oofy boys either. Anyway, I'm gonna have to ask for proof you're actually contracted by W Corp. You must obey the contract, or you're gonna get fucked. This is the master keycard given to us by W Corp. I believe that it can open most doors aboard this train. Faust produced the master keycard from her pocket. Guess there isn't any other way for us to prove that we were actually contracted by W Corp. A keycard, so you use this to open the path between the first class and the economy class car. Let's see, W Corp logo. Whoa, nice materials. Looks like you're telling the truth. Alright, I won't pry. Not that there's any cash in it for me either. So I guess you gotta go all the way down there for your job, huh? Yes. The fixer finally got out of our way, then with one of her free hands pointed toward the opposite door. Well, it's your funeral, ladies and gents, or your victory lap, if you guys are really that good. Lots of luck to you all. Thank thee for thy words of courage, Fixer Sasha. I shall trust thee with the protection of this fortress. Prithee, protect the innocents in my stead. Fixers, are you gonna save us from the monsters and the cars behind us? Huh? Just as we were about to reach the other end of the car, a little passenger pulled on Don Quixote's coattails. Aye, forsooth. Whoa, are you a famous fixer? Not yet! Forsooth, once again, thou mayst know me as a profoundly illustrious fixer. Whoa, I want to be a fixer too, just like you. Don't pester the lady. I'm sorry, she's my daughter, and do not worry thyself. 'Tis no bother at all. Thou must dream of becoming a fixer thyself, little squire. It's fortunate that someone like yourself is aboard the train. Your presence ensured that child's survival. What you talking about all of a sudden? Come on, no need to keep up appearances between people of the same line of work. I'm just here to collect some sweet emergency contract fees from each and every one of them. Are you two on something or what? I see. I don't think Quixote needs to hear what she just said. Didn't know you could be like that, Faust. Be like what? You know, you knew there was no way the fixer was actually here to protect them out of pure goodwill, but you decided to go along with Don Quixote's delusions anyway. Am I right? Good move. I was getting really worried about what might happen if she started acting out again. You saw the twinkle in her eyes too, right? Don Quixote's always been energetic, but she's been especially bouncy today. Forget about that. Fucking Discord server maintenance. we're so, it's so over. Eyes. Faust strode towards Sasha with a question. I have one last thing to inquire. It'll be 30k on per inquiry. That is quite an unsound decision to make for someone who claims to be in the same line of work as us. Have you considered the possibility that once our contract is successfully completed, we can include references to a particularly cooperative association office in our reports to W Corp? Whoa, you serious? Well then, let me hear it. Were the eyes of the monsters you faced red by any chance? Sasha paused her swinging arms for a moment upon hearing that question, appearing to be either in thought or trying to recall something, then answered. I don't know. Those monsters were red all over, but is there something special about their eye color? Well, for one, my prosthetic eye is red. That passenger over there has got red eyes, and oh, you there. That lady with the big sword's also got red eyes. What, is someone out there paying cash info on red eyes? Red eyes? Oh my god. Ryoshu, you gotta get the fuck out of here. No, well, it was a question of no significance. House nodded lightly in her direction, then opened the door to the next car. Gah. Hi, Ryoshu. It was just as we had feared. The scene that appeared before us looked like it came straight out of a painting of hell. A painting of hell, you say, with the Ryoshu on screen. Curious. What a reference, Dante.
불로 정화하고 깨끗한 세계를 세우라.
I did forget. Hold on.
아직까지도 저의 총구에는 까닭 모를 망설임이 남아 있.
I forgot that I have to grab it.
탄피가 떨어질 때군요.
뭐야 파이팅이다.
Yeah, so we are like highly leveled, so I don't think any of these battles are going to be much of a problem.
이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 두드려 패.
That is true. When I get to 500, I can buy my own Yisang.
뭐야 파이팅이다.
완벽한 한방을 위해
I do love those skill names. It's so fucking stupid. They're fucking paragraph. That's some Zombieland Saga fucking episode 9 fucking ass skill names.
결국 마지막까지 서 있는 놈이 이기는 거라니까. 잘 들어. 아픈 거 생각하지 말고 이 새끼 죽은 다음만
전투에
생각해.
임하겠습니다.
공격이 더 매서워져.
소란이 줄었네요.
Go, Heathcliff.
내가 알아서 처리한다.
Man, I have to go back because I'm thinking about it. It's like, what was the team I fought this thing for the first time with?
정말 한 톨도 남지 않았나? 그렇다면 어째서 이 분노가 끝나지 않는 거지?
Yeah. No, I didn't even have my charge team yet. Yeah, I know I had I think the only it was yeah, it was the fucking red sheet. Ring pointillist. Oh, and then synced on I think regular Heathcliff.
기다려라.
Yeah.
곧 먹이를 먹여주지.
뭐야 그 파이팅이다. 목을 내놓고 있도록. 저것들 너덜너덜하잖아.
Oh.
정신 못 차리는 놈 대가리부터 뭉개.
We're clearing the board this time, surely. Oh fuck. Never mind. Forgot. That's fine.
예사롭지가 않은데? 아주 시자를 내놨어. 하나 눕혔네.
Oh, right, it's a really big chain battle.
전투에 임하겠습니다.
개발 장전.
Get the hell out of here. Oh, you just missed lethal.
죽도록 달릴 시간이다.
Yeah. It does mean more coffin. But since we're like high level, it's not gonna be that tough. And I can use my whole team. Oh, what a serious skullbuster.
그래, 결국 마지막까지 서 있는 놈이 이기는 거라니까. 잘 들어. 아픈 거 생각하지 말고.
Well, here's the thing, is that
매서워지거든.
Wild Hunt Heathcliff Wild Hunt Heathcliff also works with Bell Bullet, Yisang, because he can blow up the guy. It's not that good, but it's funny. Are the ads? Oh, okay. Limbus Company, yeah. It is getting late. Which is partially my fault, because I definitely started stream late. But we are like about the halfway point. So, oh god. Heathcliff wins. Whew, battling in a narrow hallway really takes a lot out of you. Too bad. Making big movements when there's not a lot of room to move around even takes more energy than you might think, especially for people like us who use longer weapons. These enemies weren't much harder than the ones we fought earlier, but it was inevitable that their sheer number would eventually wear down the sinners. What are these things, Faust? Yeah, I've been wondering that too. Why are you so tight-lipped all of a sudden? Those entities are... What do you think those entities are? Huh? Didn't I just ask you the same question? Oh no, are you giving us a chance to come up with our own answers first? Sinclair. Of course, Faust did not confirm nor deny his question, but Sinclair was perfectly capable of interpreting her silence in his own fashion. There was some things I learned after fighting them, I think. These monsters aren't mad at us, nor do they want to attack us because we're an obstacle. That's not why they're attacking us. Quite, 'tis apparent that they hunger for art, charging at anyone and anything in a desperate quest of it. Right, that's strange though. I thought hunger or thirst wasn't a thing aboard these trains. Could be determined from the entity's attack patterns that their offensives were not based on rational thought. The source of this behavior can only be traced back to primal aggressiveness. Yes, and? Was there anything else? Anything else? Oh yeah, I think they all had red eyes. Their bodies wreathed in blankets of red. I smelled blood, so that's likely what they're made of. Then it must be that the red was congealed, nay, crystallized blood. Thank you all. Your inputs have been very helpful. It's my turn to start whispering. What did you learn from that? We are unlocked, Dante. I have read upon the subject as a tangent while perusing information regarding our next destination. Ah, fucking Christ. Moments before we boarded the train. And while that will be a useful element in resolving this situation, the sinners have also been a very good source of intelligence when it came to categorizing and identifying important evidence from the available sea information. Your advice was correct, Dante. Mean you know what to do to blow this case wide open? Nothing can be said with absolute certainty at the moment. However, this will be a good place for us to start. Without, Faust turned around and faced the rest of the sinners. I will now present before you a solution to this predicament. Huh? Is there something else we gotta do other than beating the crap out of whatever's in our way? That will not change now. However, what I'm about to share will give you a better understanding of the purpose behind W Corp's contract and provide us with the possible means of finding the method by which we may complete it. It is very likely that the entity behind the incidents on this train, and by extension every incident of the same nature that has occurred on previous warp train trips, is a blood fiend. I wonder what this has to do with Don Quixote.
끝인가?
Surely nothing.
정말 한 톨도 남지 않았나? 그렇다면 어째서?
Alright. Let's do one more level.
탄피가 떨어질 때군요.
Oh, whoops. Hold on. Hold on. It's just gonna be more... Yeah, it's gonna be more generic enemies.
파이팅이다.
Oh, no, that's not a generic enemy. That's a fucking cleanup agent. Okay. Alright, let's go back.
아직까지도 저의 총구에는 까닭 모를 망설임이 남아 있었나 봅니다.
빨리 시작하시죠.
Wait, a blood fiend? What's a blood fiend? A blood fiend? What in the name of wings is that? Wait, I thought you would know. Isn't your whole thing like blood fiends? Isn't that the whole thing that's gonna happen in your chapter? Or did like you wipe your own memory, or have you not learned about that yet? Huh, you of all people haven't heard of blood fiends? Thought you were our team expert on obscure lore. Verily, I have not once heard mention of these blood fiends. Perchance I have let a magazine article slip from my memory. Don Quixote furrowed her brows, genuinely lost. It was as though the very word sounded alien to her. Thought they were just monsters in stories to scare children at night. They're supposed to be afraid of garlic and sunlight, right? Oh, that sounds a bit different from what I've heard. I hear their fear of garlic and sunlight is just a rumor, and what they're really afraid of is water. That's funny, because that's the vampire lore in each of those countries. I've been briefed on the existence of blood fiends in the past when I served as commanding officer, and I have seen the dregs that they command. Though my memory isn't very clear, I'm quite certain that these monsters here do not resemble what I've seen. I've seen one who called themselves a blood fiend among the ranks of the fingers, but the things that blood fiend commanded weren't like these rubber-textured ones. There's something off about this one. That one didn't spawn these dregs with abandon like this. But aren't you supposed to know this already? Yes. I see that some sinners have encountered blood fiends in the past. A long-winded explanation seems unnecessary. As many of you have stated thus far, the entities we face in this strain do not appear to be blood fiends. In a sense, they are dreg-like beings that have failed to become kindreds. They are referred to as blood bags among relevant parties, according to information I am aware of. Not a terrible name. Why would anyone name someone blood bags? As it had been said prior, it is impossible for passengers to disappear aboard warp trains under normal circumstances. Though our reserve of intelligence regarding warp trains or W Corp is vast, if incomplete, we could not find a possible exception to the above rule. Within that reserve of intelligence, however, I have discovered that inserting a previously unseen variable into the equation allows for the formulation of a new hypothesis. Wait, you're saying that these blood fiends can completely erase people or passengers from existence? A more accurate descriptor would be to say that they are either dissolved or vaporized. Dissolved. No matter the degree of violence the passengers may indulge in, no matter how severe their wounds may be, the warp trains can revert them to their initial states at the beginning of the journey. But if they got fucking eaten... Among several interpretations of the word violence involves cannibalization of... Oh. However, as the passengers' collective time itself is a moratorium for the duration of this train's operation, digestion is not a biological process that should be active. In other words, even the devoured passengers could be reconstructed. If they are merely stuffed into their digestive tract, then I suppose they could gut the passengers to retrieve the chewed up chunks of other passengers and piece them back together via the vein-like things connecting each individual. It's practical. It's practical and not at all nightmarish. Thumbs up. The city. It's practical and not at all nightmarish. However, such is not true for blood bags. Blood bags are by their nature obsessed with blood. Their existence hinges on supplying themselves with the blood of their victims. And it is said they must consume a minuscule amount of blood to maintain their forms. Wait, what? Didn't you say that digestion is not a thing while we're on the train? If I were to continue my deductions, perhaps consumption of blood for blood fiends and blood bags is a fundamentally different process from our consumption of nutrients for energy. To them, blood is a culmination, an entailment of something that forms the cell, including but not limited to emotions, ambitions, wealth, purposes of existence. Then it must naturally follow that they can spend their blood at will, which is a process isolated from other biological processes such as digestion. Maybe Don Quixote like blocked it out because she has like a traumatic childhood. That would be fucked up, so it's definitely what happened. But I ain't following even half of that. You resisted a moratoria of time and present moment, Heathcliff. Your emotions still persist, do they not? Anger, sorrow, and joy? They continue to spark within you. Huh? Well, I suppose they are. Though we cannot tell whether they may be in a state of alteration or whether they remain ensnared in the wheel of creation and destruction. It can be said that emotions once past existed not in continuation. The passengers' will to live the worth of this very existence in which they thrive. Do they not all gently atrophy into non-existence even amidst the ceased time? Miss Faust seeks to illustrate the similarity between how emotions are to ourselves and how blood is to blood fiends. Gotcha, so that's why she said their blood is vaporized, huh? If that's the case, then the very blood that's supposed to bind these chunks of flesh together will also evaporate, which means they can't be pieced back together. There is no incongruence in that logic. Everyone fell silent for a moment. There was way too much information to process at once. We didn't even know what to make of them either. I would like to ask a few questions if you would permit me. Yusang was the first to break the silence. Could it be said that blood bags are direct creations of blood fiends? If such is the case, then by which methods do they? That information is inaccessible at the moment. House replies, avoiding Yusang's gaze. There isn't anything I can do about this. The sinners will only get more stressed if they find out what's going on with Faust, and that's something we both want to avoid. Inaccessible, indeed. Now I recall what you have said in the past. This is only speculation, however. I assume that a form of direct physical contact is needed to turn an individual into a blood bag. If such were not the case, then we, who are likely the greatest obstacles to this entity's goal at the moment, would have been the first ones to be turned. Indeed. In that case, that villain of a blood fiend must be hiding out somewhere aboard this train. Indeed, if we are to believe the words of the fixer from earlier, then there's a high likelihood that the horde is advancing in this direction from the back of the train. In other words, continuing down the train cars will lead us straight to the blood fiend. Very well, I shan't forsake this opportunity to bring peace to the souls of the innocent passengers who have perished by the villain's hand. Dante. Seems that Don Quixote was now invigorated. The other sinners also seemed satisfied now that we had a clear sight of our goal. I've been going to bed earlier, so now I'm getting like Faust who stood amidst them, not in my direction. Well then, let's go. Matt is DMing me about expecting a GIF. What's today? It's Wednesday. I don't know, Matt, I don't know what you're talking about. Hold on, let me guess. I've never seen that GIF before, Matt. Oh my god. It's Heathcliff. I love Heathcliff. Wait, Matt, it's your birthday? I'm bad at birthdays. It is your birthday, isn't it? Your birthday's in January. Let's move forward for now.
가서 할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고. 저보다 한 주먹거리도 안 되는.
Okay.
완벽한 한 발을 위해
그 오물을 떼어내주지.
Oh, he just kills.
지가 않은데?
I love Engcorp Sinclair. He just fucking kills people. He needs no setup.
전투 임하겠습니다.
좋아.
Buster.
너가 치워라.
주라니야. 죽도록 달릴 시간이다.
내 죄는 내가 알아서 처리한다.
직접 놓아주마. 가져가라. 하나 눕혔네. 이렇게 눕혀가다 보면
You'll be gifted this birthday present too. It's so good. Oh my god. I can't believe it.
불길 속으로.
Yeah, get him, Otis. Oh wait, I forgot to add the
차려졌지.
friendly fire for the Otis friendly fire earlier.
속에서 비명을 질러라.
Almost missed that one.
당신이 물러 터졌군요.
Alright. You know, win rate.
불길 속으로.
Let's just win rate. No, Otis, don't lose your clash. Ah. Jesus Christ. I love Wild Honey Heathcliff. He's so goofy.
그래, 결국 마지막까지 서 있는 놈이 이기는 거라니까. 잘 들어. 아픈 거 생각하지 말고 저 새끼 죽은 다음만 생각해. 그럼 공격이 더 매서워지거든.
He's so fucking goofy. He just. He's so fucking stupid. He just says, I'm going to fucking put you in this coffin too.
정말 한 톨도 남지 않았나? 그렇다면
Alright.
이 분노가 거지.
We're 8 in, which is about halfway. So I think that's gonna be it for today. Because I am tired and I have to get up at 9. And I need 8 hours of sleep. So yeah, I'm not gonna get 8 hours of sleep. Good night, Clever. I've stopped doing my dailies, even though I definitely should be, because I'm very busy. Because I don't have a battle pass, it's sort of like low priority. Anyway, good night. Good night.